This is a depeasantize your mind segment. So, you know, Donald Trump put in his little shift at McDonald's, worked the fryer for a few minutes, worked the drive-thru for a few minutes. It was a success. People found it endearing and warm and funny, and it triggered some of the shrill, humorless libs. So win, 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 win. And, of course, Matt Walsh learns the wrong lesson from this. What does he say?
Yes.
The fact that a 78-year-old guy can perform the job up to par after being trained for 2 minutes is not exactly an argument in favor of raising the minimum wage. Oof. Oof. Well, I just had to point out, first of all, he wasn't performing up to par. He was moving very slowly. If a commenter took that long to pack your fries, your wife would start screaming about how she told you should have gone to Wendy's. That's exactly what would have happened. No amnesty makes a more serious point, though, and it's a good one. Would you stop with the elitist bullshit? The condescending tone at people who are actually working is so off-putting. Hopefully, each of Trump's coworkers today got to go on to bigger and better things. But to suggest that someone who isn't worthy of a decent wage is idiotic. Amen. Absolutely. And, you know, I wish I had bookmarked this tweet because I read it and I really liked it and I lost it. I couldn't find it. I would have included it in this segment here. Somebody made a really good point about how Trump putting on the apron, working the fryer, happily, you know, schmoozing with the customers at the drive-thru was a very good signal to working people. It brought a level of dignity to this work that people don't always assume is there. This work is not valued by society. It's not valued by the franchise owners. And as full of shit as Trump may be on these issues, and he's not a pro-worker guy, never has been in his entire life, there is a certain benefit to putting on a smile and working the fryer and say, you've been working the fryer how many years? It brings a level of dignity to this work in ways that Democrats don't.
Right.
And Matt Walsh takes that and just completely squanders it by making the point of, well, if he can learn how to do it in 2 minutes, that must mean whoever does this deserves to be poor. Right. I mean, that's just a completely wrong interpretation. Even a lot of MAGA people understood this better.
Right. Well, this is where this whole anti-woke thing in the end is a grift. And it's a grift that goes all the way back to Reagan. Reagan was really the original anti-wokester. He's sitting there and he's telling working people that it's ennobling to hate government programs made to help you. The scariest words in the English language are the government's. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Yeah. You know, for a lot of people in America, the scariest words in the English language are you've got a bill from the hospital.
Yeah, or you're fired.
And they don't touch on that. And it's been very effective. You know, all these people, Matt Walsh, all these anti-woke people, they are really the children of Reagan. They have very effectively gotten a lot of working people to connect working class causes that would benefit them and the people, the class they're members of, as wokeness. Yep. As wokeness. But eventually you're gonna be a millionaire. No, you're fucking not. No, you're fucking not. You know what you're gonna be doing? You're gonna be working your shit job for shit pay with no fucking insurance and screaming at woke people on the TV. And that's exactly how they want you. Now Trump, the fact that he can't say, yeah, we should raise the minimum wage, that should tell you everything you need to know. Yeah, does Trump have an ability to go among working people and do something like this that Democrats today, because of how they have chosen to culturally signal and who they've chosen to align with, it's hard to imagine any Democrat who could pull this off at this point. Like, you think they could go through the motions of it. It would come off like Dukakis in the tank.
Right.
It would just be completely cringe. Sure, they got the signaling. I mean, in a lot of ways, in that respect, Trump is very symbolic of the Republican Party, in spite of the fact that he represents a part of the party that's hostile to the establishment party. He does inherit the party's post-Reagan drift towards signaling cultural affinity without offering economic relief, and more than that, to brainwash people. Why the fuck would you be a poor libertarian? Why?
Right.
Why? You're gonna go grow your own food, sunshine? You're gonna you need your non-existent property to be protected by strong property rights. Why do you think all these rich pricks are libertarians all of a sudden? It's very good for them.
Of course.
Very good for them. Look, at the end of the day, America is the greatest libertarian experiment in history. And it has proven that when you have unrestrained capital, in the end, it's not going to lead to great freedom for everyone. It's going to lead to an oligarchy. It's going to lead to a concentration of wealth at the top. It's not like we didn't try this. This country is the attempt to have that. And this is where it's brought us.
Well, yeah. And that is what is so stupid about this tweet, because Trump being there, going through the motions of working a shift, it sends the signal that he appreciates these workers, that he appreciates fry cooks, that he appreciates cashiers at drive-through windows. It sends that signal, whether he has the policy positions to back it up. Obviously, we know he does not. But it's good politics because it sends that message. And Walsh just completely steps on it by saying, hey, you know what lesson I learned from this? People who do this job are idiots because Donald Trump can learn how to do it in 2 minutes. And so why should they get paid more? Like, it's just such a self-destructive thing to message out.
Let's see Donald Trump do it for a week. And
a week, 4 hours. Try 4 hours. He did it for about 20 minutes.
Yeah. I made a joke about this when we did the original segment, and I say it again, because you pointed out, because of his color scheme, he looks kind of like the product. He looks like a natural. Okay. So what does that tell you about accidents of birth?
Right.
What does that tell you about accidents of birth? If Donald Trump had been born into a different family, you might very well be seeing him there for real. The only reason this guy's running for president is he was born into wealth and privilege. Now you want to say, oh, well, he built something up. The motherfucker bankrupted a casino. He bankrupted a casino. That's something people think is impossible, to bankrupt a casino. Our system is so corrupt that once you're rich and you have those connections to banks and credit lines, you can keep fucking up and they'll restructure your loans, which they've done for him several times.
Exactly.
He is an example of how the system works to keep you rich once you're already rich, and make it almost impossible to get rich if you didn't start out there.
Please clap.